So what we're talking about is it ain't what you do, it's the way that you do it. Now, this does apply to everything in life. And Claira's just told this fabulous story about an announcer on a tube platform who would put his own particular spin onto announcing the trains. He made it fun and interesting, made people smile as they were going past on their daily drudge of commuting. And he was eventually picked up by a boxing promotion company, and he now works for them as the announcer. That's a fabulous story. I love that. So there are those sort of stories, but there are also stories like, because it applies to absolutely everything. Yeah. So if you are running the country, it's not what you do. So what you do is run the country. Lots of people have run the country in the past, up to leading up to where you're running the country. It's the way you run the country that is important. Yeah. Because the changing times required people to do things in different ways. So if you're running the country right now, if you're listening, if you're running the country right now, Boris, you need to be concentrating a lot on climate change. Hello. Because that is the most important problem of our times. And if we're not careful, we're going to destroy.
And cancel HS2, please, while you're at it.
Oh, yeah, good idea.
Please.
Yeah, that's a good, actually, whilst we've got the opportunity and we know that the person running the country is listening. Yeah, good point. So that's another example. It's the way you go through your day. It's how you behave towards other people. Yeah. What would you say, Claira?
Well, I had an example of it last year. I think it was last year. And I was in Boots in Chesham. And there was a woman in front of me waiting to be served. Or she was being served. And she was on her phone. And so the poor girl who was trying to serve her didn't understand what she wanted. And so this woman on the phone just carried on, just doing lots of pointing and just being really obnoxious. And because this girl, obviously, who worked at Boots, couldn't say anything, I actually looked at this woman who was in front of me. I said, get off your phone and show some good manners. That phone call could be taken anytime. Get off the phone and just talk to this woman and ask what she wants, or ask what you want. Just show some good manners. Basic manners. Anyway, the girl behind the counter just looked at me and she silently whispered, thank you, and smiled at me. Now, this woman on the phone just stormed off and she was off in a huff, but I don't care about her, actually. It was the girl behind the counter that was just so grateful that someone just stepped up and said, enough. And I really have a problem with that. So that's just my little thing. So that was a small thing. But it's also when you're in a shop, it's about eye contact, it's showing appreciation, it's saying thank you. You don't know what kind of awful day that person's having. So just take a few minutes to make a joke with someone, give them a compliment, even tell their manager, you know, that person has worked really hard and I appreciate their help. That is what I'm talking about.
Yeah, it could have a big impact on somebody's life.
Absolutely. You could just turn that person's day around by a simple bit of kindness, and it's really important.
Okay, challenge this week is to do one act of kindness. And that's, I was going to say every day, but even if you did one act of kindness, one random act of kindness during the week, it would make you feel great. You might then go on the next day and look for another random act of kindness to do. If go out this week and do one random act of kindness and then let us know what it is that you did and why you did it, actually. Yeah, that might be a good one. So this, it ain't what you do, it's the way that you do it, does apply to absolutely everything in life. How you live your own life. Really important, how you look after yourself. We've been talking this morning about focusing on your own healing, not just leaving it up to somebody else. So it's not what you do, it's the way that you do it. You know, how do you heal yourself? Do you just take the drugs and continue working? Or do you think, what can I do to improve my health and help my own healing? And running the country, of course, very important. What else? It ain't what you do, it's the way that you do it. Have a think about that, because I'm going to play another tune, because it absolutely applies to everything in life. We're going to have a little bit of Christine and the Queens now. This is Tilted.
Oh, nice. Oh, I love this song.
That's Christine and the Queens, Tilted. I love Christine and the Queens. Really love her music. Fabulous stuff. So we've been talking about songlines. Is there a line from a song that you particularly love that really reaches you? I've heard from Des Gwinnell, who says that the line he was thinking of is "Together we stand, divided we fall." Very Brexit. Oh dear. Here we go. Off the edge of the cliff. So that is from Pink Floyd's song "Hey You," which is on the Wall album. Now, what about you? Have you got any song lines that
I love Mary J. Blige, and one of her songs, which unfortunately we haven't got, but it's called No More Drama, and that's one to listen to because she's an amazing singer. She's so soulful and she's so courageous in the way she performs. But the words are literally, I've had enough. I've had enough of drama. I'm not taking it anymore. I'm not putting up with it anymore. And I find that really bracing, and if I feel like I need a bit of a boost, I whack Mary J. Blige on. No More Drama. Great for changing mindset and great for feeling right. Let's do this. Great song to start the day as well while you're doing your daily dancing.
Oh, there you go. Now you see, this is something that Claira does, which I love. She does a daily dance. So I think that's such a brilliant idea. So do you play the same tune every time?
No, it just varies very much. Sometimes it could just be the radio on and I'll listen to something which I haven't heard in a while and that'll get me going. But I tend to go for really positive, upbeat tunes.
Yeah.
Anything really that will just
get you moving.
Get you moving. Yeah. Great way to start the day.
Because I've started, one of the things that I'm doing to just sort of, it's a way to an exercise thing, a fitness thing, is what's it called? Figure eight exercising. Oh. I was really struggling because it's very difficult to learn all the moves because it's based on Latin dance, which I love anyway. And then I found this 10-minute video that I can fit into the day.
Nice.
And overdid it, actually. I spent 2 days with my sides aching because I was doing too much salsa bending. But it was that sort of feeling that you've made an effort, sort of pain,
It's not just physical, but it also lifts your spirit and lifts your mood. It's a great way to start the day.
Yeah. Oh, definitely.
Just a couple of minutes. That's all you need. A couple of minutes. Get up early, set the clock a little bit earlier while you're having your breakfast, get that radio on, dance for a couple of minutes. I'm telling you, you will feel so much better about the day ahead.
There you go. It's not what you do, it's the way that you do it. Yep. How do you start your day?
Yeah.
Getting out of bed and feeling depressed, or slapping on a song and having a little bit of a dance.
Indeed.
So I'm going to play this song now for Des, who got in touch with his songline, a bit of Bad Company, which I know he likes a bit of that. That's the band, obviously, not Rubbish Company.
What are you trying to say, Amy?
So we've lined up a song which is your request, Claira.
Yes.
So this is Cloud Busting. Now, what's special about this song for you?
Well, I love Kate Bush, and whenever I think of Kate Bush, I think of my cousin, who I'm very close to. And a few years ago, when Kate Bush did some time, it sounds like she was in jail. No, she did do some time. She was at Hammersmith Apollo and did a series of concerts, which was massive because she hadn't done anything since the 70s.
Oh, I remember that. A friend of mine went,
Yeah, and my cousin, who was in Canada at the time, was a huge fan, and he was just going, I'm going to come, I'm going to make it happen. And I don't know, again, through determination, luck, all sorts of things, we managed to get a couple of tickets, even though it got sold out. So we went, and it really was one of the most special nights for the pair of us. He actually flew all the way from Canada just to come to this concert.
Amazing.
He did stay for a few weeks, but it really was a huge, big deal for him. Now, my cousin is one of those people who I have to say is one of the most special people in my life. But one of the things about him that I am aware of is that he's so non-judgmental.
Okay.
He's one of the least judgmental people I have ever met in my entire life. He's so chilled and so easygoing and so accepting of people in the way they do things and the way they react to things. And I think we are all very good at being quick to judge people's actions.
Yeah, very true.
And he is someone that just doesn't. So I really want to dedicate this song to him. because he is, I just feel truly blessed that he's in my life. For all of us to think about how we judge people and to maybe stop ourselves perhaps. And
but when we find ourselves doing that, to stop and say, okay, is that really fair?
Yeah.
And often always, it's not our place to judge.
Sure.
And also to think, because there's always another way of looking at things. We don't know what's behind people's actions, people's behaviours.
Yeah.
And, even if somebody is wrong in doing something, there's often a reason. So, a level of listening and understanding, I think, is required sometimes.
Indeed. So this one's for you, Charles.
Okay, this is Cloud Busting by Kate Bush. Cloud Busting by Kate Bush. What's all those noises about at the end there, Claire? That sounded like a steam train heading off from a station.
I think it was.
Strange. Must have had something to do with the music video. So we've been talking about the words in songs, and that sometimes they can inspire us, and they might pluck them out of a song and give them a different meaning almost.
Yeah.
But so there's a song called "The Climb" by Miley Cyrus. Do you know that?
I don't.
Oh, I bet you might recognise it when you hear it.
Okay.
But the words are really worth listening to.
Right.
Because it's the idea that, as we go through life and we might struggle, we just keep fighting. Keeping fighting is really important. Being determined, having willpower.
Resilience.
Resilience, exactly. Bouncing back when the proverbial hits the fan sometimes.
Yeah.
So being resilient. And what this song is about is the climb, as in enjoying the journey almost, and acknowledging yourself for the efforts that you put in to get yourself to where you want to be, and overcome the proverbial that gets thrown in your direction. So this is it. This is Miley Cyrus and The Climb. So we've been talking through the show today. We've got less than half an hour left, Clara. Can you believe it?
That's gone so quickly.
I know. Do you think that we've been talking too much? Maybe
no, never talking too much. Never talking too much.
Oh, look, here we've got another word from songs. Don't Bring Me Down by ELO. That's another word from song from Ben there. He's paying attention. Nice to know you're listening properly. Well done. Yes, we've been talking about words from songs that inspire you, and send them through. You can, if you want to tell me your song, the words from songs, you can send me an email at studio@chilternvoice.fm, or you can send me a message via one of the social media posters that I put out there to tell you about the show. And also, we've been talking about it ain't what you do, it's the way that you do it, which is so true. Now, on a very simplistic level, for example, because I believe this applies to everything in life. So it could be that the way you bake a cake. Now, I think that when you cook, you should put love into it.
Okay.
And if you cook something, maybe if you're in a really bad mood, I just don't think it comes out in the same way.
Really?
No, I genuinely don't. Because all the energy that we put into everything, if you imagine that you're in a really foul mood and you've got to be nice to somebody, you can still hear it, can't you?
Yes.
You can see it in their eyes, because it's very difficult to pretend when you're in a really negative space.
Yeah.
I think that, and in the same way that our bodies are able to do things that we're not aware of, the mystery of our bodies that can heal themselves without us contributing, I just think that there are so many mysteries in the world. So yes, I believe that if you're cooking for friends, you put love into it, and it's all the better for it.
Do you like cooking?
Oh, I love cooking. Cooking.
Do you?
Do you not?
No.
Oh.
No, I just do it like as if like a function you have to do, like ironing or the housework. I don't take much joy out of it.
Don't you?
No.
Is there another cook in your family?
No. Not really.
Right, I'm going to cook for you one day. I love cooking.
Do you?
Yeah, really love it. I find it very therapeutic, and I love cooking for other people. My favourite thing in the world is to have friends round for dinner, cook for them, and provide a feast of food.
Oh.
Yeah, absolutely love that.
Well, I'm open for invites, Amy. Anytime.
Yeah. Well, it won't be for a while when I've got my own pad again. Yeah. And I'm not being a nomad. Yes, I love that, and I find it very therapeutic. I find it's a creative thing. I had my sister-in-law round last night. We had dinner. I cooked a bit of sea bass.
Oh,
very lovely it was. I know.
Posh.
Threw a couple. I know, and I thought, I want to make it really special, so I bought us each a couple of scallops each and put them on top as well. Roasted carrots. It's lovely. And she brought the cake that we're eating.
Yes.
Have you tried it?
I have. It's very nice.
Very gingery, isn't it?
Very gingery, yeah.
So it's a ginger cake. She bought this from the Willstone Farm Shop near Tring. If you like farm shops, it's really worthwhile going. They do a lot of produce that they freeze. Yeah. And you can basically go with a container and scoop what you need. Nice. So it's not like you have to buy a standard bag. Yeah. So I really like the way they do that. And they have a lot of other locally made produce there. Okay. And it's where they make the campfire gin. Have you heard of the campfire gin?
I haven't.
Campfire.
Do you like a bit of gin, me?
Oh, well, this is a local gin.
Oh, local gin for local people.
For local people, yes, for yokels. There is an amateur one as well.
Is there?
But this is campfire gin. It's really lovely. They do sell it in local boozy establishments. Bars.
What's a boozy establishment? Is that a pub by any chance?
Yes, bars and pubs. I just didn't want to mention one by name. I thought that wouldn't be very fair.
Okay.
Right. Ramble. I'm rambling now. What was I talking about?
I have no idea.
Put love into what you do. It ain't what you do, it's the way you do it.
I do occasionally. I have to be in the right mood. I'm not bad at a banana muffin.
Oh, I say.
Not bad. And the old bit of apple crumble. Apparently my family do like my apple crumble.
Do they?
That's okay. But cooking, I don't really get excited about it. I mean, I'll do it because if you don't cook, you won't eat. But I just, it's not my thing. But I get it. I get how other people find it really relaxing and enjoyable. And apparently, I once made some fairy cakes, because I used to guess the measurements. I used to think I could do it.
Oh, really?
And they were so bad that they had no centre. So there were fairy cakes that when you bit into it, it was empty in the middle. Now, that takes some skill.
I was going to say, I think that's quite clever.
So my lovely friends took photographs of them and put them on Facebook.
Love friends like that.
Love friends. Just to say, this is a wonderful example of a bit of Claira baking. It's unusual, I know, but she did it. And these are the cakes she made. And I had public humiliation of my fairy cakes, which traumatised me for some time. That's why I'm a little bit nervous and a bit wary of baking, because you never know who might take a photograph of.
These days even worse, isn't it?
Yeah.
I do a little bit of baking. I make lemon drizzle fairy cakes. Yeah. Sometimes I put little Chiltern Voice logos on top. Anyway, I'm going to have another song.
Great.
This is Haim. Do you know Haim?
I do.
Okay, this is Hallelujah.
Fantastic.
That's Hallelujah by Haim. Now, they're a girl band, actually, a sort of a country girl band, and they have some really lovely tunes. I love their voices. They're in harmony. They're beautiful. Now, we've had a little question here from Charlie in Chiang Mai. Claira, it's for you.
Yeah. Okay.
The question is, so she gets the fact that cooking is not your thing.
It's not my thing.
No, so what is your thing?
Oh, okay. Well, lots of things, really. I mean, I love eating. I love eating other people's food, of course.
Good to know.
And always open for invitations. What's my thing? I mean, creativity is my thing. It's what drives me. It gets me up in the morning, whether it's dancing, walking, singing, painting. I find creativity is the driving force that's taken me to all sorts of places and met some interesting people. And I'm all about trying to help people. I just always like helping people. And for me, creativity is a way of finding out what's going on in your head, trying to figure out which way you want to go. And I mean, even from doodles, if someone starts doodling, I can tell a lot about someone from their doodles, and people can get messages from their doodles about where they're at. So that's one thing. But I mean, for me, my philosophy in life is so short, and just grab every day as much as you can, because you just don't know how long you've got.
That's so true. Yeah.
I'm sort of, I think it's just about finding happiness also within yourself, regardless of what's going on. So, you could be having a really difficult day. And if you kind of work at trying to change things around in your head through your mindset, that day can transform into a better day, even if nothing has actually happened. So I often work with people one-to-one. I work with people in groups, and I really like trying to help people visually try and figure out what the problem is. And sometimes when people write or draw things out in front of them, the clues are there. It might help them figure out why they're quite stuck. Because once it's out of your head and it's in front of you, sometimes you get an idea of where you're going to be or where you want to be. So that's why I'm queen of vision boards. I'm a massive fan of it. I really use a lot of that in my teaching. I also think to be as juvenile as possible is really possible and is really important. And I think being young at heart, having a young attitude is really important too.
A young attitude?
Young attitude, yeah. Okay. Yeah. The reason why I say that is I think wherever age you are, well, okay, I can only talk from really my age and my generation. A lot of people are already starting to kind of pack up and give up a bit.
I so agree with you. I have friends who are talking about their life as if they are in the middle of their retirement or about to retire.
Yeah.
And as far as I'm concerned, I've got loads I want to do.
Yeah,
There's
I'm just getting started.
Like that. Oh, totally.
Yeah. And I think it's important. I mean, yes, of course, I'm not saying that we can't be sensible and practical about, those kind of things about our future if you're a certain age. But at the same time, I think it's really, really important to kind of seize the day and find the fun in situations, not take yourself too seriously. Yeah. And not take other people too seriously. I think it's really important. I mean, and to embrace people of all ages. I mean, I'll give an example. Last night I went to the silent disco at Berryfield Street.
Oh, yeah. How did that go?
I really enjoyed it. I didn't think physically I was going to be well enough because I've had a rough week, but I just did. I just wanted to go because I knew it would cheer me up. It would be good fun. And one of the things that's great about silent disco, and if any people haven't been, I really recommend it, is that you see people dancing with their headphones to different types of music played by the different DJs. And this is at the Algiva Theatre. And I looked around and all I saw was people just dancing and being happy. But it was so many different generations there. There were people that were teenagers. There were people of my age. I'm sort of in my 40s. 53. 53. But there were people older than me. And everyone was just having a great time. And it was the power of music. It's the power of dancing.
Yeah, I love that.
And dancing and not caring what they look like. And it was just amazing. Really enjoyed it.
Music and dancing are great unifiers, aren't they?
Absolutely. Yeah. So, Charlie, I hope that gives you an idea about what I'm about. There's many things, as we all have so many strings to our bows and so many aspects to ourselves. But, for me, my driving force is creativity, helping people have the best time of their lives that they can in any shape or form.
Well, one of the things I'm going to pick out from what you've just been talking about is that that whole idea of being yourself and being confident and happy with who you are.
Yes.
And I was listening to this song this morning, funnily enough, kind of randomly, and it's by Neil Diamond. It's really beautiful. It's not Dance Around Your Kitchen. It is a listen to.
Okay.
It's called I Am, I Cried. That's Neil Diamond. I Am, I Said. Now, that song is about being yourself, being happy with who you are. And I know it's it's not exactly a sad song. It's kind of reflective. And this has got to be the best line of a song, isn't it? I mean, it's not just the line; it's the little verse there. I am, I said, to no one there, and no one heard at all, not even the chair. Oh, inspired, Neil. Well done. So what we finally got? What have we got? Less than 8 minutes left. David Winterburn is raring to go with his 60s and 70s songs to play for you for the next 2 hours. After David, we're going to have Emily Culverhouse with her Wowie. That's what's that word? No, I can't remember what it is now. Actually. Anyway, musical and theatre. That's what Emily does, and she does it very well. after Emily normally would be round the world with George Luke, but George has become a daddy to baby Sylvie. So he won't be here, sadly. He won't be here for the next couple of weeks as he and his wife settle into being parents.
That's quite a good excuse, isn't it? Sorry, I can't do the radio. I've just had a baby.
I suppose.
That's quite a good excuse.
Yeah, as excuses
go. That's quite good. That's quite impressive.
So well done, George and his lovely wife, and welcome to little Sylvie. I think her full name is Sylviella Eve, I think he said.
Wow, nice name.
Lovely. So, what are our messages, Clara, this week to people? We've got ain't what you do, it's the way that you do it.
Yeah. It's also think about doing random acts of kindness.
Oh, yes.
I challenge our listeners to do one a day.
Absolutely good. Oh, one a day,
One
you
a day.
said.
No, I'm not going for one a week.
Yeah.
One a day.
One a day. There you go.
Just think about how you can make a difference to people around you. The small things, it's all important. It's all good. Yeah. And let us know.
Sometimes it's just a smile, isn't it?
Yeah, it can be.
Now, we have talked about doing something which is kind of random, leaving something around the town. Do you remember that conversation?
We did, didn't we? Yes,
we haven't done that yet.
We need to get on with that.
I think we will.
Yeah.
We'll get on with that and then we'll tell you all about it next week.
We will.
Ta-da! Bet you're excited. You want to know what it is now.
We're not leaving money out, by the way.
Oh, aren't we? No, we're definitely
envelopes
not.
of money. No, we're not doing that.
No, none to spare. Sorry, it's all mine. So we've got time for one more song before we depart. I think, what am I going to do? Do you know, I'm going to play it now. And we'll come and say goodbye in a minute. We're going to have a bit of Liam Payne. Now, this is featuring, so he's doing this with A Boogie with the Hoodie.
I'm sorry? Could you repeat that, please?
A Boogie with the Hoodie.
She's been on the gin.
He's an artist. He's an artist, apparently.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, that's his name. It's called, then the song is Stack It Up. And that was Liam Payne with A Boogie with the Hoodie.
Up.
I'm not making it up. It is. And it's spelt strangely and everything. So you can look him up if you like. Anyway, that was Liam Payne. And that's it for this week. Hope you've enjoyed our chat and natter and banter and all the wisdom that you need to get on with your life. Isn't that right, Clara?
Absolutely. Thank you, Amy, so much for inviting me along to have a chat with you.
Love having you on here. So Claire will be back. We will be having more conversation. I don't know when I'll be able to persuade her. And we'll be starting some little projects to keep you alert as you walk through Chesham Town. Now, we've got to go. I'm going to leave you with the news and weather and a couple of ads, and then you'll be with David for the 60s and 70s show. So see you, everybody. See you next time.
Bye.
Bye.
This Life with Amy Deane on Chiltern Voice.